Okay, today we will conclude the chapter on ZERIZUS, on the ALACRITY, and he closes off with the following idea. V'chol gedolei Yisrael sheyadanu, all of the great leaders of Klal Yisrael that we are aware of, hayu zrizin ma'od, they were very quick to do their jobs. Lasais miyad ma shetzrichen, whatever they needed to do, they did it very quickly. They didn't delay. Marana Chazanish, the Chazanish, who was the uncle of Rav Chaim Kanievsky, who was really one of his principal Rebbeim in life, he said, Segula shalal lishkayach, a segula, a good piece of advice not to forget things, is lasais miyad, do it immediately. If you do things immediately, you won't forget to do it. You'll do it right away. V'chein shemanu al Horowitz Chaim zatzal, the Horowitz Chaim also, that whenever he made up his mind to do something, he would do it immediately, bli shum iko, without any delay at all. So if a person would look at what the Horowitz Chaim accomplished in his life, and you would just see how, just take one sefer of the Horowitz Chaim, and if you take the set of Mishnah Berurah, which is 6 different volumes, it took him 25 years to write the Mishnah Berurah. On top of the Mishnah Berurah that he was busy writing, he was busy running all of Klal Yisrael. He had a yeshiva, he was a rosh yeshiva, he was counseling people, he was giving brachas all day long. He was involved in community affairs, he was running from one town to the other town, going here to strengthen this town and strengthen that town. If you look at the other works of the Horowitz Chaim, he wrote on some of the most complex ideas and sugyas that we have in all of Shas. He wrote a whole commentary on Kachim, which is the most difficult. The whole Sefer Horowitz Chaim, in order to be able to write a book like that about the laws of Lashon Hara, you have to be an expert inside and out to be able to explain where everything. He didn't have Google. There was no Bar Ilan program over there to press in Lashon Hara and everything comes up. No, it was all in the brain of the Horowitz Chaim, going through all of the works, all the Svarim, everything. How could the Horowitz Chaim, in his 93 years of life, how is he able to accomplish all that? Even the last year of his life, the Horowitz Chaim wrote the Sefer Mitzvahs HaKatzar, which is all the mitzvahs that the Horowitz Chaim felt that the world was lacking keeping at that time. People were not so familiar with all the mitzvahs that we have to keep. So as he's 93 years old, the last year of his life, he's busy writing one more Sefer. How did the Horowitz Chaim do it all? So here's the answer. The moment that he decided to do something, he did it immediately, bli shum iko, without any delay. That's the sign of Gedolei Yisrael, of the great leaders of Klal Yisrael. When they have something that they want to do, they see that something has to be done, there's a need that Klal Yisrael has, they do it immediately, and they don't delay, they don't waste a second to go and accomplish. The Ayin B'Yodea, he says, if you look over there, it says like this, a person makes a vow, and they say, I'm going to do this thing within the year, or I'm going to do this thing on that particular day. I'm going to, whatever the nether is, I'm going to repaint my house by the end of January. That's what the guy says. I'm going to repaint. Tells his wife, makes a vow to his wife. She wants the house painted. He promises, he swears he's going to get the house painted by the end of January. But he doesn't do it immediately. Okay, he has till the end of January. He should do it immediately though, but he doesn't do it immediately. Kiyama, he says, I got plenty of time. January is a long time away, the end of the month. And afterwards, he's nenas, he gets under duress over here. Some extenuating circumstances arise. I don't know, the price of paint went out the roof and he can't afford to paint his house anymore. Or there's nobody that wants to work anymore to paint the house, so he's stuck and he doesn't know how to paint himself. Whatever might have happened. And he doesn't fulfill his vow. He vowed by the end of January he's going to paint the house. And now the end of January comes and it's the beginning of the new month of February and he didn't paint the house. He says, not my fault. I meant to do it. However, there's nobody painting houses anymore. The paint is not available. It's on the supply chain demand over there. Nobody can get it. So says the Shulchan Aruch, Das HaAguda, the Aguda, one of the Paiskim says, the Lei Mikri Eines Ela Paisheya. This man is not called an Eines, he's not called someone that was against his will. He couldn't do what he said he was going to do. Ela paisheya, rather he is negligent. Because even though that he made a vow that I'm not going to do it for another few months, any smart person would know you don't delay, you don't wait, because you never know what's going to happen between now and then. And the fact that he didn't do it immediately, therefore he's held accountable for missing the boat, missing the opportunity, and therefore it's called a paisheya. He's literally he is negligent, and therefore he ended up violating the vow that he made. V'Hashem Yizbarach Yizakenu liyois me'azrizin amagdim elamitzvot me'HaKadosh Baruch Hu mizaka us, may he merit us to be among those that are coined with the phrase of the diligent are the ones that are quick to perform the mitzvahs. So he just brings down a couple of stories over here just that we can illustrate how fast Rav Chaim Kanievsky himself was to do everything. When he would sometimes, the man didn't sleep very much at night. He slept, I believe he went to bed maybe 11:30, woke up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and he was learning all day. This is going on for 70 years. 70 years of going to bed at 11:30 at night, and waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning to begin your midnight, your learning. So he had a charusa that they used to learn at 3:30 a.m. Okay, 3:30 a.m. in the morning, that's when they used to learn together. And they were learning Baruch Hashem, for a long time together. And one day the chavrusa came a few minutes late. One day after years, he came a few minutes late. And Rav Chaim told him, we can't learn together anymore. We're supposed to learn at 3:30. Where were you? It's 3:34 already. So he wanted to cancel out this person from learning with him, who was a great Talmid Chacham himself, until finally somebody else intervened and said, give the guy another chance. Okay, it's only 4 minutes after several years. Give him another chance. And Baruch Hashem, he was never late again for the many other years that they learned. Rav Chaim Kanievsky would often since he didn't sleep so much at night, he had to take a nap every once in a while. And whenever he would take a nap, when he would wait, and it was a short nap, it wasn't like, geschmack, a 3-hour Shabbos nap after the cholent and the schnapps. It was probably like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, that was his nap. So when he would wake up, he had a special song that he would sing. I don't know how the song went, but it was based on the verse in Mishlei, which says, Ad masai atzel tishkaf. How long will you recline, lazy man? Masai toka mishnasecha. When will you get up from your sleep? So Rav Chaim Kanievsky, as he would be rising to sleep from his little nap, he would sing this song to himself, throw off the covers, and he would get up and he would go to learn. So he learned this. Where did he learn it from? It seems that he learned it from the Chazon Ish. Because the Chazon Ish, when the Chazon Ish would get up in the morning, so he would do the following. He would jump out of bed, and the Chazon Ish would say, tell that lazy one to start moving faster. Who was the Chazon Ish telling him? It's not about himself. Now the Chazon Ish, you have to know, he was a very physically sick man. He had days that he wasn't able to put on tefillin because his stomach was in such bad condition. If you ever saw pictures of him, he was not a big, brawny fellow. He was short, he was scrawny, he was weak, he was ill much of his life. And yet, when the Chazon Ish's alarm would go off, or internal alarm would go off, he would jump out of bed, and he would say, lazy one, start moving faster. So Rav Chaim said, that's what it says in the Mishnah. The Mishnah in Pirkei Avos says, Hayom katzar, the day is short, u'malachim aruba, there's a lot of work to do. What's it referring to? It's referring to people that are lazy. Those people that are lazy have to know the day is short and there is a lot of work to do. But if a person is energetic and a person is quick and they're doing things on time, then he'll see that he has plenty of time in the day to do everything that he needs, because he has special siyata d'shemaya from above that he'll take care of it. And this is the story with all of the Gedolei Yisrael, all the great leaders of all generations. It doesn't make any sense how they were able to accomplish everything that they did. Writing Sfarim, being with people, running yeshivas, running Klal Yisrael, running here, running there, all these things. How did they do it? Because they didn't waste a second. Not like us. We get into our office, we sit on the computer, we'll just check the news again. Make a phone call. Let me just check the news and see if anything changed again. Make another phone call. Let me just see. Maybe something changed. Maybe inflation is not as bad as they said it was 5 minutes ago. Maybe the Dow didn't really drop 900 whatever points today, because No, that's called the wasting of time. The people that are machshiv the time, that they are concerned about their time, they're matzah, they grab every single second that they possibly can, and they do it with ZERIZUS, they do it with tremendous alacrity, and that's why they are the gedolim, that's why they're the great ones, and that's why we are the ones sitting here talking about them. Bez Hashem, we should be zeichet to find the koiches of ZERIZUS inside of ourselves. And as we mentioned, we learned this during the month of Elul because every day of Elul is so precious, so valuable, there's so much to grab onto. We still have a little more than a week of the holy month of Elul upon us. Have to grab the moments to be capitalized on all the opportunities that are there. And then when we come to Rosh Hashanah, we'll show HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we are people that we're machshiv the zman. We take our time seriously. Someone who takes time seriously, that's all that we have in this world, is time. If we use our time wisely, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give us all another year of life, at least one, if not many more. But this year of life, to be able to show HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we'll use the time that He has given us in the proper way. Okay.